Hey auntie babies, come on in here. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Aunt Beatrice. Well, you can call me Auntie. Everybody calls me Auntie. And today we're going to be talking about the Great Depression. Ooh, child, was that a time. So remember, we had just came from the Roaring 20s. Now, that was a time where we was living good. We had advancement on literature, music, affordable cars, shout out to Henry Ford, and all those great things. Well, because things were so great, we just started buying stuff. You get a car, you get a car. That's my girl, Oprah, she said that. But in real life, we just bought up everything, and well, we went to the banks and borrowed things on credit. Now, when it comes to credit, there's something you need to know. They may give you some money then, but then they want their money back. Credit is when you go to the bank for money you don't have, just to pay them back that same money plus interest. But that's another video, But anywho, where was I? Yeah, credit. So everybody was buying things on credit. They owed the bank their money. Now, because things were so good, production and companies started rising. So we wanted a piece of the action. We were finally able to buy things called stocks, or they also call shares of a company. Now, shares of a company is literally a piece of the pie, piece of the company. So production was going up. That means these companies were doing well. Now, production means how much you make, babies. I don't know if you knew that, but how much you make. So if I make 15 today and 30 tomorrow, that means production has went up because I make more. So anywho, production was doing good. Everything was doing just marvelous, right? So, but one thing I want to tell you about stocks now, if your company is doing good, everything's good because you make more money. But if your stocks or the company not doing too well, oh baby, that means that your money is now going down. Okay, so buying stocks is a risky business, and that's what people was doing. They was buying and selling and buying. Everything was great, right? Until I think it was summer 1929, yes. So in the summer of 1929, things started going down. And by things, I mean production. So one thing you have to know, when you don't have to make as much, you start laying folk off. That means people started losing their job. Have mercy, they started losing their job. And then by the time that fall came around, people was running out of money. People lost so much money in the stock market that they would just started selling the stocks back. You get your stock back. I don't want none of the stocks or the shares of the company, right? So as that was going on, people started panicking, going crazy and selling their stock. And remember, now when you borrow money from the bank to pay for that stuff, you got to pay them back. So a lot of people lost their money that day. And then banks started closing. Certain companies started closing. So more people lost their job. Have mercy. So that day was known as Black Tuesday or the stock market crash. Whichever one, it was just bad. And that was the beginning of the Great Depression. The Great Depression actually lasted between 1929 and 1939, 10 years of darkness. Poverty, that's when people don't have no money. Homelessness, when you don't have a home. People was hungry, so they got sick. Oh, bless their soul. Just bad place. So they had to move to places called Hoovervilles. Now, Hoovervilles wasn't nice. It was like the big projects, right? And Hoovervilles was named after Herbert Hoover, which was the president at the time that didn't want to help nobody. He blamed it on the people. So, of course, when things got bad, They call the nasty places Hoovervilles. Ain't that wrong? Ain't that wrong? Thank goodness for the election of 1932. Now, Herbert Hoover, of course, lost to Franklin Roosevelt. Ooh, FDR, that man. Now, he proposed the 3 R's to help us. All right, so we got the reform, recovery, and relief programs. Now, all those was called a New Deal. And baby, it was a game changer. These programs gave people jobs, helped the community build parks, all kind of stuff. Just great stuff, so look it up. It's called the 3 R's under the New Deal. Now, this was all fantabulous until we started inching our way into World War II. But don't you worry, babies. We're going to teach you about that too, all right? So remember, babies, the Great Depression was a time where people was depressed, poor, homeless, and everything you can imagine from 1929 to 1939. So thank you all for joining Aunt B yet again for a great social studies lessons, babies. Now y'all take care now, and remember to teach on purpose.